Well, hello everyone. Thank you for logging on to this info session. This is the kickoff for the Student Startup Center's Startup Week. It's taking place over the course of this week, May 25th through the 29th. And essentially what this is a virtual business competition. In years past, we've had the Creator Challenge series, which has been sort of our opportunity to help students and fund students and give students an opportunity to build something in a pretty short amount of time, and to hopefully have that act as the impetus for their entrepreneurial careers. In the age of COVID-19, we don't want that to end. We want to be able to continue to help people jumpstart their careers. And so that's kind of how Startup Week was born here at the Startup Center. This week, we're going to be giving away prizes and cash prizes worth $2,500. And we're really excited to see what you all come up with. If you are not already officially signed up, if you could please, it should be in the chat now or coming up, if you could follow that bit.ly SSC-compete to officially sign up, that would really help us keep track of who's participating in the competition. So what is the Student Startup Center, right? This is what is kind of hosting Startup Week, but what is the SSC? So we're the undergraduate entrepreneurial center here at UC Davis, and we offer students a lot of resources and means of jumpstarting their entrepreneurial careers. And some of the ways that we do that are through our classes. So we currently offer 3 classes: Engineering 8, Intro to Entrepreneurship, and Engineering 80, Launching a Business. There are 2 classes that really focus on the ins and outs of what entrepreneurship is, how the entrepreneurial world operates, and how to actually start a business. And then we also have Hacking for Defense, which is a really cool opportunity to work with the Defense Department on really unique projects. And if you complete our 2 core classes, as well as tackle some other challenges, you can receive our certificate in entrepreneurship, which is sort of like our mini minor. We also offer workshops, many of which for this quarter have been leading up to this week, to Startup Week. We've done workshops on group leadership, project management, 3D modeling, prototyping, virtual reality, augmented reality, all sorts of things. And Miku can comment on some of the other things that we offer at the Startup Center.
Yeah, so currently at the Startup Center, we offer, what we're really known for is a lot of our hardware and equipment that students are able to use for free, such as 3D printers, our new laser cutter, CNC, Arduino, virtual reality headsets, and just so many more things that students are able to use. Obviously, you can't use them now, but when we open up again, definitely resources that are available to you. And even outside of that, as Don mentioned, we have a lot of resources, especially in the startup space, given that's also our main functioning outside of all this cool equipment. And yeah, Pitches and Popcorn is something we hold every Monday, in which you can talk about entrepreneurial discussions and startups that are going on, that are currently happening. Then we also have Find Your Founder, aka Now Can You Solve, in which you gather together with a group of people to solve problems, real world problems, and kind of apply that to a potential startup. And Mentor Visits, which we'll be having this week. And Plasma, which, demo day was about 2 weeks ago, in which you saw our student teams present their startups. And now we have Startup Week. So a lot of resources that are available to you, especially if you're a student, for free.
Awesome, thank you. Do you also want to talk about our sponsors?
Yeah, it's just a thank you to our sponsors, especially College of Engineering. They gave us the cash needed to provide for prizes, which is great. And same for Citrus, which will be providing the custom-made trophies for Tech for Social Good projects. I definitely recommend checking Citrus out if you have a cool project you've been working on that's for community service or health or just anything that's used to help others. While also, you don't even have to make a profit off of it. It could be nonprofit or for-profit, but definitely recommend checking them out. and also Hacker Lab, which is essentially kind of the startup center, but much bigger and in Sacramento with workshops and resources. And they're also offering prizes for this competition. So I will also link those in the description, but you can also find their information in the competition packet and on our website.
Cool. So before we get into a lot of the little things for this week, I wanted to go ahead and go over the competition packet. So there's a few ways to access this. We really wanted to make sure that you have access to all of the materials, all of the links for everything that's going on this week. There's three places where you can find everything. The first is sscstartupweek.com. That's the website for this competition. Please check that out. Again, everything is there that you will need, including this link, which I believe Mika will be posting in the chat. This is a link to the competition packet. This is another place where we have all of the information you need in order to complete your submission, including a lot of the nitty-gritty stuff that's maybe a little too boring to read in order to put on a website. And then the third place is we sent out an email this morning that also has links to all of the events we're hosting this week. So I'm going to go ahead and actually go over super briefly this competition packet. It's a few pages long, but really, it just talks a lot about what we've already covered. What is the Startup Week? What is the Startup Center? We have a message from one of the center's directors, Aaron Anderson, who is a principal at Impact Venture Capital in Sacramento. Message from our sponsors, Hacker Labs and Citrus. Lots of good stuff. Again, all of the events, links to everything. A couple things that I really want to highlight. We do offer office hours, I believe 3 days out of the week. And really, really cool is we have Vanita Argawala, who, if I remember correctly, is an incoming partner at a pretty major VC firm. You do have to register for that meeting, so please do that here. And then, of course, the nitty-gritty, like I was referring to, talking about competition submissions. There are two main deliverables that we are expecting. We're expecting single PDF documents. Don't send us a doc. Don't send us a Google Doc. PDF is really what we prefer. And in that, we want an explanation of the problem you are solving or the job you are doing. In the business development workshops, we talk a lot about the two different approaches to, creating a company in terms of identifying what it is that you're doing. And we'll be going over that in the crash course tomorrow. We want to see a description of what your product or service is or does, a summary of the information gathered from potential customer interviews. We really, really hope that you do customer interviews. It's not worth a huge part of the score for a submission, but it is worth something. So it's a really good way to get a leg up. Additionally, if you're not able to contact people, we understand that this is a really tough time. To try to form new connections. So if instead you can only say, for example, this is what we would ask people. These are the people that we're looking into talking to. This is the information we want to gather. That'll certainly earn you some points as well. Pretty important thing is we want to see a completed business model canvas. Again, we'll be going over that tomorrow. You can also find all of the previous business development workshops on YouTube. If you look up Student Startup Center on YouTube, you can probably find, I think it's like 6 or 7 hour-long embarrassing videos of me talking about business. And then we also want to see 3-week, month, and year plans for growth and development. Again, we'll be talking about that tomorrow. But essentially, we want you to get thinking about what does your future look like. We really want to see a lot of these companies grow, these projects grow into real companies. And so this is kind of our way to prod you into doing that. And then the second main deliverable is an MP4 file, a video file of your product or service demo. Basically, we just want to see you demonstrate and clearly explain why your thing is useful, why people might want to buy it, and then also address kind of the feasibility of your product or service. Would people actually buy this? My recommended way to do this, we don't expect some highly edited, fantastic, demo video. The way I would do it if I were in this competition submitting a project is just host a Zoom call, hit record, and send us that MP4 file. That's all you need to do, really. We also included the scoring rubric if you really want to know like what specifically you need to accomplish. I'm not going to go over this in detail, but this is the exact same rubric that our reviewers are receiving. In terms of the logistics of submission, please just submit before the 6 p.m. deadline. Try to submit like an hour before in case you have internet issues. There are some penalties for delays. And the link for that is going to be up here. Oh, the link is on the website, excuse me. And I will go ahead and add it to this document as well, just to make sure that's also there. And then prizes. Mika's going to be going over this again in a bit, but we offer first through third place prizes in both the general category and Citrus's Tech for Social Good category. So if you don't necessarily want to do something for social good, don't worry. A lot of good prizes are still available for general purpose companies. And then we also talk about the grading process, just because we want to be super transparent. And one really big, actually quite long resource is this. This is adapted from the online resource guide that is on the SSC website, startup.ucdavis.edu. But this is essentially like everything in the local neighborhood, everything from SAC, everything from Davis, all the things that are made available to you as entrepreneurs. It really is a treasure trove of useful information. As well as tools for getting, sorry, my dog is digging into some stuff, as well as some, Frankie, no! As well as some tools for getting started. Miko, if you want to take over from here.
Yeah, sure. Are you done going over the packet?
I am.
Okay, I will share my screen then. Cool. So now that Dom's done going over the packet, I will share just a general brief overview of the events we have going on this week. So yeah, starting today is the info session, and then going on, we have our office hours for 3 days, and then we have crash course workshops, in case you missed the previous workshops over the last quarter. And then as I said previously, we have some cool mentor webinars coming up. So these will be the 3 days for office hours, in which they're usually about 2 hours, and that starts today and ends on, I believe, Thursday. But if you have a question or anything, you don't necessarily have to attend office hours. You might just get a faster response if you do. But we're also available on our Slack, which you can join on through the website, and I'll also link it after the presentation. And yeah, so we have crash course workshops for the 2 main components, which are business development and MVP development components. So for example, again, if you missed most of the workshops throughout the quarter of what Dom was teaching on the business model canvas, or just anything related to that, he'll be doing a quick crash course in like about 2 hours. And then on my end, I manage the MVP development one, which is building kind of like the physical or visual of your product itself. So definitely not a typo. It is only 30 minutes, only because building a prototype can range from designing a website or coding the website or building something with cardboard or 3D modeling it. So it's really hard to cover that in a short 2 hours. So yeah, we'll be holding that for 30 minutes to an hour, in which we describe what methods you can go about for prototyping your product. And then for our featured mentor sessions, this one, again, you do have to sign up for. On Thursday, Benita is really awesome. and she's a general partner in Andreessen Horowitz, and she's gonna basically give a talk about startups and venture capital and just what she would look for in those companies. So definitely recommend, and I will link the sign up in the chat as soon as we're done. And then on Friday, we have our usual mentor session with Layden Han. And yeah, a lot of our mentors that come in on Fridays are usually CEOs, CTOs, or developers of the product. And they always give good insight as to how they made it to that point specifically. So I definitely recommend attending both sessions just to get different perspectives on like what a venture capitalist would think and how a CEO would think. And yeah, that's essentially all the events we have going on this week. And we're open to questions as well.
If you have any questions and you don't necessarily want to ask them out loud, feel free to throw them in the chat as well.
Hi, Dom. So is there just a submission? So there isn't like, so everything's just on digitally? Like there's no like, I guess, presentation?
Correct. You know, the analogous kind of presentation would be the product demo, so the MP4. And you know, in that, you know, we do hope to see members, like each member of your team, kind of talk about, you know, maybe what they did or how they contributed. So that's probably the closest thing akin to a presentation. But yeah, everything's virtual. It's just a PDF and an MP4.
Right. And for the demo video then, so what if your teammates are in widely different locations? Like, what do you mean by like, I guess, showing the demo or the object, or what if it was an object?
Yeah, so similar to how we're talking right now, what I would recommend is having a just a Zoom session. You know, even with the basic version, you can have 45-minute calls. You know, with a pretty good amount of people. So, and obviously, we don't expect to receive any 45-minute demos. We hope to keep them, you know, well under 5 or 10 minutes. So you know, what I would recommend is just have everyone that's a part of your team hop onto a call and deliver your demo that way.
Right.
I have a question.
What's up?
So I've been waiting in the waiting room for like 20 minutes. For some reason, it wasn't letting me in. We just got in through one of my associates' computers, but for some reason, the link wasn't letting any of us in. I just want to find out what we missed so far on the info.
Where did you try to access the link?
From the main email.
I'll try
that-
testing it myself, Don.
Okay.
I actually agree. So I came in 7 minutes late. Just because I was using the link that you sent out, this like Student Startup Center sent out a link this morning, and I tried using that link that was for today's event, and it didn't end up working. I was stuck in there for about 7 minutes until one of my friends told me just use or get in here, and I'm like, okay, there must be something wrong. So then I ended up using a link from the actual website, not the email. Then I was able to get in.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened.
Well, definitely apologize. I definitely apologize for that.
Dan,
The waiting room isn't enabled, so I'm not sure what link was posted to the email. So in terms of if you missed anything, you know, if you came in pretty recently, then I would imagine you did miss a few things.
Oh, I think I know what the problem was.
What's up?
I think it's because I don't know what was wrong, but when I made a bit.ly for your Zoom, it just
Mhm.
wasn't having it. And I think Jasmine kept that one in.
Gotcha.
So let's just not use that, the BizDev bit.ly.
Yeah. Um, yeah. I mean, I have the same code for every meeting, so hopefully that should be easy enough to use.
Okay. I
Um,
mean, do you mind going over, we can go over the slides again, like
yeah.
very quickly.
Yeah.
Maybe actually you can do that while I have Jasmine send out like maybe an email about the link. So 1 minute.
Can you tell Jackson he's trying to access it too? He's clicking the one. Tell him to go to the website.
And all right, so I'll go ahead and run through the slides one more time, bit quicker now.
Okay.
So yes, this is Startup Week. This is sort of the how do you say, the successor to the Creator Challenge series, which is the hackathon style competition we did for a few years. We wanted to provide an opportunity in the spring for students to do something entrepreneurial, to go through a competition. And we didn't really want to get the current global situation, let that get in the way. And so that's kind of how this was born. And again, if you're not officially signed up yet, which I believe you are, Cameron, you can sign up here. What is the Student Startup Center? We're the undergraduate entrepreneurial center here at UC Davis. We offer lots of resources listed here, classes, a makerspace, workshops, lots of fun stuff. Several sponsors have made this possible, including the College of Engineering, which funded the cash prizes, Citrus and the Banatao Institute, which provided the trophies for the Tech for Social Good category, as well as, of course, their fast-tracked funding, or fast-tracked application for funding, rather, as well as Hacker Lab, who is a fantastic makerspace and entrepreneurial center in Sacramento, who's offering, of course, memberships for the first to third in the general category. Went over the competition packet. The first section really talks about what we talked about in the slide deck. It also includes nice messages, hopefully some motivational messages from both one of the SSC directors, as well as from our sponsors from Hacker Lab and from Citrus.
Now, where can we access the competition packet?
Yeah, so if you go to the website, sscstartupweek.com, and scroll just a little bit down, this little button here will bring you to that. And I did confirm that that worked.
Awesome.
Yes,
Thank you.
of course. Included in the packet is also a list of all of the events with links that I know for a fact work, because it's what I've been using all quarter.
Awesome.
Yeah. And so list of events with the times. One to pay attention to is our mentor session with Finita Agarwala. You have to register for that one. So please go ahead and do that. It also talks about the deliverables for the competition submission. There are two main deliverables: a single PDF file, which talks about what the problem you're solving is or the job you are doing, a description of what your product or service is, how it solves the problem, how you came up with it, things like that. A summary of information gathered from potential customer interviews. If you're unable to contact potential customers or people who know your problem well, then you can, in lieu of that, talk about the information you would seek to gather. It's not going to be worth as many points, but you'll still get some. Also, a completed business model canvas with an explanation for each area. And 3 week, month, and year plans for growth and development. All of these things will be discussed tomorrow in the crash course on business development, if you were unable to attend any of the workshops that occurred over the course of the quarter, you can get all of the key information there tomorrow. Again, that link is right here. It's the same link for basically all of them, except for the mentor sessions. And then the second deliverable is a MP4 of your product or service demo. I recommend doing that over Zoom. It makes it very easy to record and just talk over. We don't really expect any major like editing or fancy graphics. Sharing your screen on a Zoom call is plenty good enough for us.
Now, can I ask you a question about that? If we were to have, you know, because obviously with what we're wanting to do, we're wanting to do an SAS B2B. And realistically, when it comes to development of algorithms, we're actually working with software developers right now, but obviously that's going to take a little bit of time. However, we are looking at doing a Figma beta. If we were to do a Figma beta, would that be suffice for our MVP?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome.
Of course. We also have included the same rubric that the reviewers will be receiving. It's fairly detailed. So, you know, at your own discretion, you can look into this to see what is, you know, important to you, where you think you can easily score points and where you might have to work a little bit harder. That's really just there for transparency. We have the logistics of submitting. The link to submit is somewhere on the website, I believe. Yeah, right here. And then it's currently not on this document, but I will be adding it after this call. I'll make sure that the link to submit is also here.
Awesome.
We go over, of course, prizes and scoring. There are two categories, general and the Citrus Tech for Social Good. You'll kind of indicate whether you're going after the social good category by just checking a box, and then we'll also consider you for that.
Now, could you elaborate social good for me?
Yeah, so Tech for Social Good is a pretty broad field, if you will.
Yeah.
I would define it as anything that betters the life of people. Yeah, so an example of something that probably wouldn't be social good might be, and again, it's pretty hard because you can always argue that, you know, your thing and one another helps people. Yeah, I guess maybe like if you're like developing a CRM software, customer relations management, that might be a little difficult to be like, yeah, this is social good. But again,
Yeah.
it's not difficult to make the argument for really any product.
Okay, awesome, cool. Thank you.
Of course. And then we also go over the grading process, which is, it is fairly clear, but it's certainly not concise. So if you're interested, it's there for transparency.
Awesome.
Yeah, and then something I'd really like to highlight is we have a compendium of all of the online resources from Davis, Sacramento, and just a lot of just online stuff that you can use to help prototype, help, you know, make your product or your service look nice, your MVP look nice. Yeah, a lot of stuff that's pretty useful both in for this week and for, you know, afterwards carrying on. And then, you know, of course, if you're getting bored, if you're grinding, lots of podcasts. So that's the competition packet. Miko, do you want to run through the schedule or the rest of the slide deck?
I'm currently sending out the email to people about the correct link, and then I'm going to check the Startup Center email if anyone like emailed us about it.
All right.
If you could go over it.
Yeah, I'll run through this. That's fine. So what's happening this week? We have a number of events scheduled. Again, in the competition packet, we had this info session. We have our office hours with myself and Miko. That is offered, I believe, 3 times throughout the week. after this from noon to 2, on Wednesday from noon to 2, and on Thursday from 10 a.m. to noon.
Now, who's going to be in those? Who's the director for the office hours?
That is myself and Nico.
Awesome. Awesome.
We will also be having crash courses on business development and MVP development. The BD crash course is tomorrow, if I remember correctly, at noon. Yeah, I believe it's at noon, might be at 10. And that'll run for about an hour and a half. And then our MVP crash course, I believe, is on Wednesday. That'll run for a half hour. We have 2 mentor sessions, our usual Friday one the center offers. That'll be, of course, on Friday. And then we have a special session this week on Thursday with Finita.
Great.
Yeah, so again, office hours today, Wednesday at noon, and Thursday at 10. Yeah, so business development is tomorrow at 2. MVP development is Wednesday at 3. Mentor session with Vanita. She is an incoming general partner at Andreessen Horowitz. Pretty impressive person. Definitely recommend talking to her about startups in general. I believe she's going to be talking kind of about the industry more broadly, as well as I would assume her personal experience. And then our Friday mentor session with Leighton Han, CEO of Adara. Yeah, and that is it.
Awesome.
So I resent out an email about using the right link. And it's totally fine because, yeah, we went over this in 30 minutes, so I don't mind going over it again.
Yeah, and we will probably end up also posting this online at some point. So
Now, I did have a question for you guys. So when I remember there was a business development webinar that had to do with Figma. And we've been watching tutorials and going over it. And one of my associates actually was a part of the meeting itself. However, I wasn't able to be a part of it due to a class I was in. And I wanted to be able to go back and look at the video, but I couldn't find access to it. And I just wanted to find out, I know it was mentioned that it had been recorded, but I just wanted to find out if you guys would be able to tell me, you know, where it was located. Maybe I was missing something. I don't know.
Yeah, so we made sure to have all of our MVP videos uploaded this weekend. So
Okay.
both the Figma design workshop and the Arduino simulation workshop should be on YouTube now.
YouTube. Okay, cool,
Yeah.
cool. Do you is there a certain title I need to look at or channel?
We can link it to you in
Awesome.
in the
Sweet.
chat.
Sweet. Thank you.
And also, if you don't want to save the link, we also have it up on the website
Oh, cool.
listed under our webinar section.
Awesome. Thank you.
I will send it now.
Awesome.
I just added the link to the Startup Center
Awesome.
YouTube channel, which is where all those videos are posted.
I got a question. So in the Student Startup Center, one of the video, when you're, one of the requirements is that you introduce yourselves and the product. So say, for example, I've only, into the competition, I put like 4 of my team members, but there's actually 6 of us. Would the 4 that I put down be the people that just present, and then the 6 others would just not be a part of the, I guess, the product explanation?
Yeah, so we would expect that members of your team are represented as members of your team. So if you have 6 people on your team, then we would want to see 6 people in that introduced and talked about in your submission. Additionally, there's an opportunity to clarify the members of your team on the submission form. So if you drop a member or add a member, you can do that there. Yeah.
Wait, what do you mean by drop a member or add a member?
Yeah, so I don't know, maybe Jerry on the team is getting really annoying. You want to kick him off. Things happen, or maybe hey, there's this new person that wants to hop on, and they're pretty talented. That's also understandable.
Right.
Yeah, definitely be wary of how many people on your team. We would consider 6 like an absolute cap. We really want to keep teams 5 or under, but 6 is definitely a hard cap.
Also, we have some newcomers coming in, so I mean, I don't mind giving another overview since you've done it like 3 times now.
Yeah. For
Okay.
those that are coming in now, hopefully you can see everything in the chat. But we apparently had some issues with links, so sorry about that. Again, all the information is on the website. Please check out the competition packet. That really has like all of the information you need. Yeah. Additionally, there's going to be office hours in like an hour and 15 minutes if you have specific questions.
Yep. That's why we don't mind like repeating the same information over because we're going to be here for a minute. So,
All right. Thank you.
Yeah, definitely. Virtual times during this are not fun. So, yeah, for anyone that's new, this is a quick info session about the Student Startup Center Startup Week competition, in which you have the chance to build out a startup, essentially the business aspect and the product aspect. And you have a chance to win some cash prizes and prizes regarding trophies, and also a chance to get a free subscription to a cool makerspace in Sacramento. So for anyone that's not familiar with the Startup Center, we're a pretty awesome place on the UC Davis campus that's currently closed right now, unfortunately. But when we are open, we host a lot of cool workshops based around using our cool equipment like the 3D printers, laser cutters, CNC, and so forth. And if you're not interested in that, we also have classes such as intro to entrepreneurship and launching a business. And we also offer a different assortment of workshops outside of the technical space as well. And our sponsors, again, for prizes, we're providing almost $500 in cash for first prize, and for second, almost $200, $150. And if you want to do a Tech for Social Good project, there are customized trophies for you with the chance to get more funding for your project. So definitely recommend if you have that kind of project going on. Citrus is amazing. And yeah, for Hacker Lab, again, they are a bigger makerspace in Sacramento, and they will be providing a membership in which you can go in and use their space to continue building your startup if you wish. So Dom went over the packet, but again, it's pretty self-explanatory in itself, but if there's something that you don't understand in it, then we're here to answer those clarifying questions. And yeah, throughout the week, there's going to be something almost essentially every day. Today was the info session. We're going to have office hours. There's going to be a crash course on business and MVP development workshops if you missed out on those the entire quarter, and mentor sessions, but most of that information is on the website, so we don't have to link everything within these slides. So yeah, office hours are throughout the week, only for 3 days, and usually for a span of 2 hours. However, if you can't make these, it's totally fine. If you join our Slack channel, you can message us. We're usually pretty available. Or if you want to email us at startup@ucdavis.edu, that's fine. And that information was in the email we sent out today and also on the website. Yeah, the crash course workshops. Dom has his tomorrow on business development, and then I have mine on MVP development. Mine is short on purpose. It's meant to be 30 minutes, only because building a prototype can be done in a multitude of ways, whether it's building it with cardboard, building it with software, drawing it on paper, so forth. Building a prototype is very, you can do it in a multitude of ways that can't be covered in not even 2 hours. So we'll just be giving you the tools and the resources you'd need to build that out. So definitely check it out. Again, everything's on the website and also in the email. And our 2 featured mentor sessions are pretty great this week. On Thursday, we have Fanita, who is an incoming general partner in Andreessen Horowitz. If you haven't heard of it, it's a really great venture firm. And yeah, she's going to be giving a broad talk on that and what people would look for in a startup. And yeah, you have to sign up for that, but we've linked it in the chat. And if you don't have that link, we can give it to you again. And then on Friday, we have another mentor who is a CEO of Adara. And yeah, it's good to get multiple perspectives from both mentors, whether you're interested in the venture capital side of things, or whether you're interested in learning what it's like to be a CEO of a company that produces revenue. So I definitely recommend going to both if you can, but if you only want to do one over the other, that is definitely fine too. And that is just my crash course of what we've been talking about for the last 30 minutes. It was more in depth like the first 30, but
Thank you for doing that again.
yeah, it's what we're here for. Definitely had issues with the link in the beginning. We didn't anticipate that, but